Okay, you entrepreneur, we're here for you, and we've got your back on this. Three mistakes that many entrepreneurs make. I've seen it throughout my career as I bounce around the world talking and helping people. I've seen them make these mistakes over and over, and it kills them. We're going to save you that challenge and avoid those things. That's what we'll be talking about today here on this episode of Agorapreneurs.
Welcome to Agorapreneurs, standing for liberty and freedom, all done peacefully. Now, here is your guide, Terry Brock.
Hi, I'm Terry Brock, your guide today as we go through the journey of being an entrepreneur. You know, it's fun to do that. And that's what we do here at Agorapreneurs. Agorapreneurs is about entrepreneurs who embrace the Agora lifestyle. And the Agora lifestyle is one that really resonates with most people as I talk to them around the world. What it really comes down to is live and let live. You do what you want. You don't initiate force or coercion. You live voluntarily with others, helping them to achieve their goals as you achieve your goals. By the way, we're brought to you by Video Rockstars. This is a place where you learn practical skills on being an entrepreneur, using video and using other tools as well. And you can find out about our next event coming up, get some real world, honest to goodness examples on how to do it. Go to VRS, as in Video Rockstars, event.com, VRSevent.com, and you'll be glad you did. And I'll look forward to seeing you there. And when you do, let us know that you're there because of Agorapreneurs and you heard us there. We'll look forward to talking with you. You can also bounce over to Video Rockstars. Notice that stars with a Z, S-T-A-R-Z, Video Rockstars as one word, and you'll be able to take a look at some of the ways that you can get involved and how you can be there with us. But I want to talk about those three errors that people make. When they get into entrepreneurial business, we think, okay, I want to do it. Well, hey, I've been an entrepreneur actually since I was in second grade. I started working, doing some things, selling little newspapers that we'd run off. My buddy Jimmy, his mother worked with a mimeograph machine. Hey, remember those? Some people don't. Mimeograph machine, she ran it off and we ran it for the Bus 2 Express. Yeah, it was fun. You've probably heard of it, I'm sure. And we did that. But I've been an entrepreneur and I've seen these errors come up over and over, and I don't want you to make this mistake. And that is going to make all the difference in the world for you. Number one error is who your boss is. And what do I mean by that? A lot of people become entrepreneurs and they say, well, hey, I want to be my own boss. I'm going to be my boss. I don't have a boss. I'm going to get away from that. Boss is a bad thing. I don't want a boss. Maybe you've had some bad experience with bosses. Hey, as I worked my way through school and did lots of different jobs here and there, I had a lot of different bosses. Some of them were really good. Some of them, they could have been a little bit better. And I look at that and I think, okay, I learned from that. But here's the key. No matter who you are, if you're working for somebody else and they're paying you a salary on a job and you've got that there, or you're working out as an entrepreneur, as we are, you still have a boss, and that boss is your customer. That boss is your client. That boss is your patients, depending on how you define that term. Maybe a member, whatever term you use to describe those wonderful people who provide you money. They give you money to do certain things, to do this service, to sell a product to you, to be a member of your club, whatever. These are the people, and don't ever forget that. You want to always remember that your boss is the one who's paying your paycheck, and that is the person you want to be maniacally devoted to make happy. Make that boss feel really good that she has hired you. Make him feel good that he is in charge of you and you produce. Find out what it is that they really need. You got to kind of read between the lines sometimes and make sure you go out of your way to help them. As you do that, you will succeed as an entrepreneur. Never make the mistake of forgetting who your boss is. The second mistake that I've seen over and over is people make a decision based on what their gut tells them or what they think ought to be done rather than where they need to get the information. And that way, need to get the information is from reality. That comes from getting real honest to goodness feedback from customers, those paying customers. It also comes from thinking, okay, I know that I need to do this, but you go out and you got to do the research. Look at what's going on. Look at the real data. Be willing to live in the brutal real world. I know it's easier to say, well, my gut tells me that da-da-da-da-da. Well, with all due respect, your gut can be wrong. You want to base this on evidence and what's there. Now, sometimes you got to be able to trust your intuition. I get that. Malcolm Gladwell talks about this in his books when he talks about the idea that when you've been around someone for a while or you've been around a job for a while, you kind of get a second sense of what is going on. You know that. Well, that's because You've got a lot of evidence going for you. You might not be aware of it all at the same time, but you're thinking, wait a minute, about 16 years ago, we tried this with this, and it was a similar situation. Might be better to do it this way. So I would make sure you get a lot of good feedback from the market. Find out what they're looking for. Now, this kind of runs against some of the things that people have talked about. Sometimes people will say, well, wait a minute, Steve Jobs said, don't listen to your customer, go out and do what they want. Well, the customer wanted at that time not an iPod or some way to listen to there. They did want to be able to listen to more music without having to flip cassette tapes. That was the key way back then. And so what you want to do is look at what they're asking for, be able to grow bigger ears, as my buddy Chris Brogan talks about. Make sure that you listen more carefully to what they're doing and rely on the data, not on just your gut. You want to make those decisions that are out there in a smart way. Make your decisions in a way that is going to be based on the evidence. I like the way that Elon Musk talks about it. Matter of fact, got a note here on the things that he does when he's making decisions. He says, first of all, you got to start by asking a question. Ask that question and find out, okay, what's going on? What do we do here? What's wrong here? And get down to first principles. What is it that's really going on? Secondly, you want to be able to gather as much information and evidence as possible. And I would say relevant evidence. There's lots of stuff out there. Find out what's relevant to answering this question and ask those kind of questions. Number 3 on this will be to make sure that you develop a system that is based on what is really happening. You want to develop these axioms that are out there based on the data that you have. Okay, this is axiomatic. This is true. We know this is true. And then the next thing you want to do is you want to draw a conclusion. Well, if this is true and this is true and this is true, then I conclude that it should be here. Okay, so it's going to be there. However, that's not the end of the game. What you want to do, as he says, is you make attempts to tear that down. Question that conclusion. Question what you believe. Always question your belief going, is that right? Is that right? Now, you don't do that indefinitely. At some point, you say, yes, we'll make a decision. We're moving forward. We have sufficient evidence. I remember John Kaufman. He was named my professor in analytics class that I had in the MBA program. And he said, you should not be judged on whether a decision turns out correct or not. You should be judged on the merits of your decision. Did you make the right decision based on the data you had at hand at that time? So go with that, look at it, and then always remember that even though you come up to these decisions, Elon Musk tells us this, you have to be aware you could be still wrong. But step back and go, maybe that's not quite right. I could be doing it wrong. So those are things that you want to do. As Elon Musk makes decisions that way, that can help you as well. And the number 3 way that people go wrong, entrepreneurs particularly go wrong, is when they try to do it alone. Don't try to do it alone. You can't do it on your own, by the way, in succeeding. Now, that does not necessarily mean you need employees. Employees can be good, and there's a place for that. But working with contractors, working with people who are advisors that can help you, that really helps. No man is an island. Oh, yeah, I think that's true. I think that we all interact. But here's the beauty of the free market system. We interact voluntarily. We don't try to do it on our own, but also we don't have a collective that forces us to do it. This is the Agorapreneur way, the way that we do it freely and voluntarily. If it's not voluntary, then it's not really a free will. If it is voluntary and you choose, and sometimes you have to make decisions, you go, well, that's not perfect, but it's the best that we can get. Okay, that's cool. You go for it and do it that way. So those are 3 things that can help you in making decisions to avoid the errors that most entrepreneurs will make. Oh, and don't go away yet, because I've got another one, a bonus. Yeah, I promised 3, and I'm giving you another one. By the way, this is a good way to treat your customers. You are mine because you're watching this video, you're listening to this audio. Yes, and here's what you want to do. Very important things is watch out and avoid not having the right systems. In other words, to put that in a positive, develop the right systems. You want to have systems that really help you. My company is called Achievement Systems. That's the name of it. And we work to help people in many different ways so that you can be your own boss, and you then report to your customers, but you are your own boss making the decisions on how you're going to do it. This is what you want. Put those systems in place that help you. I talk about this in many of the other videos that we have, and we get a chance to show you what you can do, how you can make these work, and the kind of things that help you. So if we can help you on that, we want to be able to stand by and help you out. As a matter of fact, we've got a program set up here on getting the help you need with 20 with Terry. That's 20 WITH TERRY.com. 20 with Terry. If you're watching this on video, you can grab that QR code. If you're listening to this on our podcast, then go over to 20withterry.com and you can apply to have 20 minutes of consultation. There's no charge to you. We take 10 minutes for you to talk about what's going on, and then I take 10 minutes and give you some advice. And if you've got something that you like there, that's good. You'll be able to use that. There's no charge. And if you say, hey, I like that, we could really use it, we'd like to work with Terry a little bit more, we can talk about consulting and coaching that's available to help you in many different ways. So these are available for you. In closing thoughts, keep in mind those three things that I talked about. You want to make sure that you're making those decisions not based on your gut, but you're doing it with others and with the market data. You want to make sure that you've got the right input, not trying to do it on your own. That's going to be really, really important. And then don't go on something that you think, okay, hey, I'm just going to get out there and do it. I'm my own boss. Your boss is the person who's paying the bills. That's the key. Well, what do you think about this? Would love to hear from you. And by the way, please, as you're watching this on video, like this one and be sure and subscribe, because that tells the algorithms, hey, people are interested in freedom and liberty. They're interested in that Agorapreneurs voluntary lifestyle. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll look forward to hearing from you. Hey, don't stop now. We've got a lot more videos out there for you about freedom and liberty, living the life of an entrepreneur who believes in live and let live. As a matter of fact, here's a way you can make a positive difference in the world. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. That lets the algorithms know, those wacky algorithms know, that, hey, people like this kind of thing of live and let live and doing it in a peaceful way. Thanks for being here with us, and we're looking forward to hearing from you.